physical therapist with Run Smart Online. Good morning, depending on when you watch this. It might be daytime, or if you're across the world, who knows, it could be later. But I want to talk to you guys about run form because we dedicated this next 2 weeks to just talking about run form and helping you guys run more efficiently, run faster, and do so with fewer injuries. And if you're interested in having us help you with a run form, we have this little offer going on, or you can save 20%. You can go to myrunform.com and check that out if you're interested. But here's what I want to talk to you about. Is there's this idea that when someone's going to improve their run form, they're going to work on their running, and they're going to focus pretty much on foot strike. And I want to show you when we do our analysis, I'll give you a little snippet here. I'm going to go ahead and do a live analysis. You have to be thinking about some other things. So what we do is we'll break down the different mechanics of how you run and make sure that you're not just focused on foot strike. You're focused on the three kind of aspects of your stride, your foot strike, your strength, and what we call more your mechanics, so your range of motion and things like that. Because if you have great foot strike, but your strength is really bad or your stride's really short, you're really kind of leaving a lot of speed on the table and a lot of risk for injury. So let me show you a runner here that I want to give you a perfect example of, and you'll see why this is a huge issue. So again, if you want some help with your running, check out myrunform.com and you can save 20% in the next couple days here. So let me find my mouse here. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this runner and we'll just watch her in slow motion here. I'll slow this down. So what we'll do during our analysis is we'll be able to play this in slow motion. You'll get some video back just like this you're watching here, but we could easily go after this runner and say, okay, let's look at her foot strike. And she has that straight knee. Yes, she's banging into the joints, and we can always draw on this. And you can see that the ground reaction force is going to be pushing her backwards. This makes it very difficult to run faster because the ground force is what's causing you, it's like tapping the brakes. It's putting a lot of force backwards on you. So what we'll talk to this runner about is improving this, learning how to land on a bent knee, giving her the drills and exercises to fix this, because it's very difficult. If I draw on here real quick, if it's really difficult to get down the road when you have this braking force in every step. So you imagine she just pushes off on her left leg, so this leg here, and she brakes on her right, and then she pushes off on the other side, and she's already braking on the other side. So it's a very start-stop motion. So yes, we would go after this runner and talk about improving your foot strike, and we'd show her this, talk her through this, and the cool thing is we can actually put a side-by-side analysis and show some other runners next to her so she can see this. But what I want to show you is the bigger piece of the pie that a lot of people are missing when they're looking at evaluating their run form, which is the mechanics. I'm going to show you one piece of the mechanics of run form. There's so many of these, and you don't have to know them all. You can just use us, or you can find a physical therapist is probably the best place to go, who understands the running motion, because they can dissect this for you. And the cool thing about what I'm about to show you, let me switch my videos here, is that when you get this right and you watch it, you can actually understand why your knees are sore, why you have maybe an ankle injury, why you have IT band syndrome. You can start to see these things come out. For example, this runner was having some trouble with her back, so let's evaluate that. And then you can start to see why this is becoming a problem. So what we'll do is watch her. We already watched from the side view of her land on her right side. So the instant she's hitting the ground, all the force is coming into her body. It's going to come up her body, and we're going to watch and see how she shock absorbs. So at this point right here, we would say, okay, this is the maximum amount of load. So the body's accepted as much weight as possible. Let's take and evaluate this position. So the first thing we're going to look at is arm position and just symmetry overall. So we're just going to drop a plumb line down the center here. Oops, hang in with me. So I'll drop a plumb line down the center. So a couple things we can see right out of the gate, right? Elbows are very asymmetric. The hips are dropping the opposite way, and we have a shoulder drop. So this asymmetry, what we're seeing here is gross weakness throughout the body, through the core muscles, through the hip muscles, and what you're seeing is the adoption of your body trying to work around some weakness. So when she's watching that hip drop, a lot of runners and a lot of coaches will say, well, you got to strengthen your glutes. It's more than glutes with this runner. So what we're going to give her is the strength exercises to help improve this. But let's evaluate why this runner is struggling with some back pain and some sciatica on her right side. This could be true for knee pain, it could be true for ankle pain. It's cool with the analysis because you can actually start to see this happen. There's a way to check strength on the table, but checking strength and flexibility and stuff in sport while you're doing your sport is a great way to look at this. So let's go back to her. I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom in, and let's just look at her back. So I'm gonna get rid of some of these lines here. Because of this lean, and because she's leaning to the right, what you're gonna see is a distraction force on her left side. So you can see how that would be pulling away. And then look at the compression force on her right. Get a line here. So she's gonna get compression on her right side. What's happening here is she's over compressing the right side of her low back, and it's crunching everything down. So she's overloading the facets on that side, and that whole, the side bend and the hip drop on that side is just consistently crunching down on that low back. Over time, that's gonna wear things down. And if you're like most of the runners we work with who are over the age of 40 and 50 years old, your goal is to stay on the road. Yes, it's to improve, but it's to stay running because you love it. This stuff will make it very difficult to continue to run. So what you need to focus on is not just the foot strikes, not just how your stride is. You need to look at this stuff as well. So what we would do for this runner is we talk about working on core strength. We actually work on some stretches to open that side up to relieve some of the tissues on that side because they're consistently getting banged on. This is the stuff that we do with our run analysis. If you are interested in getting analyzed, we actually have this cool thing going on. It's 20% off for the next, depending on when you watch this, it could be a couple days left, but we'll take your videos. You can upload them anytime in the next year. We'll analyze them, send them back to you with all the drills, exercises, and stuff you need to improve your efficiency, improve your speed, and decrease your risk for injury. But just know that it's more than foot strike. You can't just go out and start running mid-foot. You can't just go and try to open your stride. You need to be focused on this stuff as well. And again, if you need our help, check out myrunforum.com. There's also a link in this post. We'd be happy to help. This is one thing that we do only in October every single year. So if you want to take advantage of it, you have to do so quickly. But we'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day.